Evening, freaks. I'm here to give you a read straight from the hip with lots of lip, and we are diving back into that December What's on Deck series, and we're seeing what's on deck for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, as we move deeper into this month of December to close out what's been one hell of a year. I noticed just as I did a split of the deck, you got the tower right here, okay? So I think you've really been feeling the culmination point of this year coming to a close. I think it will go down with a bang. I think some things are getting ready to fall, okay? I think there's something coming in real fast too with communication for you. I did pick up in your pre-shuffle that there's something that you're trying to find balance with, and you're finding a hard time kind of finding that center point of balance because you really feel like ripped off. Like you feel like somebody did you wrong, did you dirty, tried to get away with something, tried to pull a fast one on you, and you discovered this, okay? I think you've really been in your head about it a bit, trying to figure out what's the best way for you to move forward with this Eight of Swords. I think some truth is going to be spoken, some action is going to be taken, and I don't think things are going to be as they were before. Oh my goodness, sentience. But I think that's a good thing, actually. I feel like this is a cathartic tower that's coming in. I feel like it's really going to clear away everything that's been inhibiting you, preventing your forward motion. And I think ultimately you're going to find it very free. It's going to bring a whole new, fresh infusion of energy into your life. And pretty, potent message. It is Gemini full moon tonight, okay, as I'm recording this. So this is your time. Full moons are a time of bringing things to fruition, but they are also a time of letting things go, all right? Letting things go. This is a reading for the collective, okay? So not every message will be for you. Take what speaks to you, toss aside the rest, and please, by all means, flip roles as you need to, whether that's with genders or whether that's cross-watcher energy that can sometimes come in. Listen to your intuition, let it ultimately be your guide. Listen to the messages that come in, see how they resonate with you and how they apply to your individual situation. And yeah, when I call out the signs in the read, we're looking at any strong placement in the chart. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars. But do understand that, hey, we all have the astrology in our makeup, okay? All of the signs. So at any time, somebody can embody those energies. So the best way to look at the astrology is just leaning into how you notice, like, for example, how do you notice a Sagittarius exhibits, their behavior? How do they move through the world? How do they operate? You may be dealing with a Sagittarius. Maybe that's why that's coming in. Yeah, I would say so, because I saw this feeling like kind of ripped off. And we did have that Seven of Swords came in again, okay? There's something really interesting here, though, with this, the way this is coming out. So first of all, we got King of Swords on deck, okay? This is a court card, so it signifies somebody who's involved in the situation. Strong air sign energy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. That's you, okay? I feel like you have made a very firm decision, Gemini. I think where you felt confused before, December shows you coming into a place of clarity and absolute certainty about what the next move needs to be. Now, when we are looking at the King of Swords, we are looking at a very clear-cut decision that has been arrived at through careful consideration and weighing up all sides of a situation. You have really brought your focus into not being so much from an emotional place, not allowing yourself to be swayed in that way when making this decision, but really looking at things clearly without any kind of pretense, rose-colored glasses, just seeing things plainly as they are. This is like a just the facts kind of card. You could be dealing with another Gemini or a Libra or an Aquarius, okay? Because it does represent all the signs there, but I feel there's some decision being made in your situation, and it's around something that you've discovered, okay, with this Seven of Swords. Now, with the Seven of Swords, we're looking at an energy where, look at this guy. Like, he's got all these swords in his hands. He's looking behind him, making sure nobody's seeing him, and he's taking off. He thinks he's going to get away with something, okay? I think you've blocked this energy to a certain extent while you've been weighing things up, trying to make up your mind about this person. I think something did come to light for you that made you realize maybe somebody isn't to be trusted, I feel like this is a case where they tried to get away with something, okay? And I think this has everything to do with a romantic relationship, a happy home, security, most likely two people that have been building together, building something substantial together. This is like love relationship all over it, all right? All over it. Love or family, okay? When we're looking at this dynamic, something has happened where somebody interfered in a love relationship or a family dynamic that actually had a lot of stability to it and a lot of happiness, togetherness. Somebody tried to pull something sneaky and drive a wedge um, in between this connection, okay? There's something to be looked at here. Let's look at the bottom of the deck on this. Boom, that's the truth, okay, with the Ace of Swords. When the Ace of Swords comes out, it's always a confirmation that, yes, this is the truth. I believe you're going to speak some truth, and very clearly. You're not going to mince your words. Nobody's going to be left guessing the position you have in this situation. This will go down sometime this winter, okay, because we have Ace of Swords as a timing card, so that represents the winter months. December, January, February, all right? So there's going to be some kind of swift action taken here. I believe you're going to cut off the bullshit because look at this. We see you beginning a brand new cycle with the Fool. This is fresh energy. This is feeling enthusiastic about the direction you're heading in. It's like everything that was burdening you, everything that was making you feel bound up, giving you a hard time, as far as understanding what your next step should be or the direction you should head in. I think you're going to have a very clear idea of how you're moving forward. I see you traveling forward light, okay? You're not carrying the burdens of the past with you. You have your head to the sky. You're feeling really optimistic. And we also see you're ready to take some chances. You're ready to be a bit daring. You're ready to do things in a brand new way. You do have some loyal people around you, as symbolized by this dog, that are like, hey, just make sure you pay attention where you're going. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. And I think you do have some really loyal people around you who've had your back. They've supported you. They've been there for you through this situation. So they're going to keep you grounded. They're not going to let you get, too full of yourself, too overly optimistic, right? Where you might do some things that could get you in trouble. I think you have people around you that are going to keep you balanced, but I do see you really moving into this place of great expansion, okay? You might also be doing some traveling, getting out there in the world, meeting new people, having new experiences. And this is a really exciting opening to a new chapter for you. So very beautiful to, bring things to a culmination with the situation, speak your truth, cut off what needs to be cut off, and move forward with optimism into the future. And it looks so good for you, okay? Because we have the Four of Wands here. Four of Wands is all about coming into alignment, and usually coming into alignment with another. It's like a new foundation being established. And I think that if you've had problems in a home situation, those are going to be rectified. We see two people standing here. They're celebrating together. They got their flowers. I think there's a new level of appreciation between you and the person on the other side of the table. There may have been some kind of third party interference in your situation. Could that have been somebody who, in the case of a romantic relationship, was trying to get with your person? Absolutely. This can be somebody who is a mistress, or somebody who is a side piece, or even somebody who just had their eyes on your person and they were trying to, drive a wedge between the two of you. They saw something they wanted, they were going to go after it, and they didn't care who got hurt, okay? But it can also be other interference too, all right? It can be the interference of gossip, people being involved in your situation that shouldn't be involved in your situation. It can be the result of family members meddling. It can also be addiction, okay? It can be any kind of addiction or anything that is detracting energy from investing in the relationship. And I feel like this really robbed the two of you, you and your person, of really enjoying all you've built together and being in that place of celebration. And I see this really turning around. You're going to have your time to celebrate. And not only that, but I do also see this piece here of you, getting your flowers. You're giving each other your flowers. It's like you're recognizing the growth in each other and how you really stuck by each other's side even through the difficult stuff, and now you're gonna have this time to really celebrate. I can't help but notice, we had this 10 of Pentacles come out here, which is really about building really solid financial sustenance. It's a time of wealth and prosperity. And I noticed like the home upgrade. Look at that castle in the background. Some of you who have been in relationship for a while and maybe had some challenges, 11:33 on the clock. So I know this is for somebody. Big alignment. This is coming in. Something is manifesting. Some of you may be having a really big celebration. In some cases, this is, a proposal, tying the knot. For others of you, this could be actually, finding out that you're going to have a baby, okay? There's something happening. It's something to really celebrate. Some of you are getting a major home upgrade. Like you're moving into a new home and you really feel like it's your castle. There's this point of arrival that comes in for you, which is awesome. And it's all because you've been doing this work to balance things out. And you very well could have been dealing with a Sagittarius. This is a Sagittarius card. They came in earlier, okay? I think you have found the balance together. You've been looking at things realistically. You've also stayed connected to your emotions through the process. And you two have been trying to figure this out. Now, in the case where there was any kind of addiction involved in the picture, like alcoholism specifically, I'm getting, with the cups energy coming in, it's just what it's bringing forward for me. I feel like you've really been able to find the balance there. And if somebody was struggling with drinking, I feel like they're getting their balance. They are doing what they need to do to stay strong and stable, whether that's going to AA meetings, whether that's getting some kind of counseling, some kind of therapy, Al-Anon meetings for, anybody who was dealing with that situation, because a lot of times people forget about how difficult it is for the others in the situation that aren't struggling with addiction, okay? They need support too. I feel like there's also been a balancing out of codependent tendencies, which can sometimes come forward where there's alcoholic dynamics, okay? This is coming through very loud and clear, but it's good. It's good. And in some cases, it's to the next level. Somebody checked themselves in a rehab. They really had to look at themselves and they recognized the way they were sabotaging what was a beautiful future for themselves. And they did what they needed to do to turn things around. Either way, I see, there's been some kind of action taken. It was taken in the fall and it's really transformed this situation. Somebody really decided to do what they needed to do. Very well could be a Page of Wands energy. That's fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I think you got some kind of news about this, some kind of communication, like I've decided to take this action. And I do feel in this case, it's taking an action to do what's needed to heal, all right? In some cases, this is in relation to a mother and child, okay? They needed to, and Ted just shook his head, yes, okay, a mother and child, and there being a need to kind of move away from, I'm getting like trauma and the stress and the strain, needing to just have some space to kind of recoup and get their bearings, all right? For those of you who will be finding out you're with child, This may have been a case where maybe there was an attempt at pregnancy in the past, but there was difficulty conceiving. Okay. And this might have been really traumatic. And in other cases, and I'm very sorry to those of you who went through this, some of you may have conceived and then miscarried. Okay. And in a case like that, I think there's been a lot of healing that's been needed in this situation. I see moving away from this energy as a new spirit of celebration comes in. There's definitely something was released. There was some kind of ending, and there was a lot of grief to process around this. But what needs to be remembered about the death card is the death always leads to a rebirth. And so everything that you've been dealing with, everything that you've been struggling with, everything that's kind of had you bound up and feeling stuck, I feel like you are now rising up out of that Scorpio heavy plutonic energy that was all about wading through all the shadow stuff, all the deep subconscious stuff that can, really rattle us in our quiet moments. I feel like you grappled with all of that. You've been doing transformation work, and now you're getting to the other side of that. That light is building in your life as we're in this Sagittarius season that first came in with that Sagittarius stellium new moon energy, just inviting in so much expansion and so much awareness too. Finally being able to look around and get a lay of the land and know what the next step should be. But we also got your full moon today, okay? So you're anchoring that energy. You're anchoring that energy with the wisdom of what needs to be released, because full moons are not just about bringing things to culmination and enjoying like the fruits of the labor that came through the old cycle, the old lunar cycle, but they are also about letting go and releasing. So when the new moon energy comes in, it can begin the cycle anew. And we're always moving through these cycles. We're always going through this cycle in our life of having our births and our life and our death and our rebirth. They happen cyclically. This is not just something that happens once in a lifetime. They happen on a microcosmic level and just our day-to-day reality. So I really see you moved through this energy, and it was a long passage, but now it has you moving forward with passion and purpose. And it's interesting. Look at this. It has both of you charging forward. Somebody here is dealing with somebody that has strong fire aspected in their chart, because this is you, Gemini, okay, with your air sign energy moving forward. You know where you're going. You got something to say. There's that truth you need to speak. And I feel like there's somebody who is riding along with you. You're riding together. Once this communication takes place, the two of you are going to get on the same page, and you're going to get moving forward with absolute certainty. 1808 on the clock when I said that. Okay, so 808, new beginning with the one energy, but 808's been coming up in my readings a lot. 808 is Hawaii area code, so there might be a Hawaii connection here. Maybe you'll go on a trip to Hawaii together and kind of rekindle your connection, reignite that spark. Or maybe there's some kind of family get together that happens in Hawaii, something around this. But you're definitely dealing with somebody as fire strongly aspected in their chart, okay? Because we got Knight of Wands here who's moving forward with you after this communication comes in, and not moving forward any old way, but with passion and purpose, and really feeling like, wow, we really have gotten to the other side of something. It feels so good. There's a new sense of kind of overcoming the challenges, all right? But strongly aspected in their chart. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, all right? Now, I think that, currently, currently, you might, find that this fire sign is feeling really overburdened, okay? They're feeling really stressed out. I see they've also been very confused, okay, about your situation. They felt kind of stuck. They haven't known the best way to move forward, but the reality is they're kind of doing it to themselves. This person sabotages themselves. They can move forward anytime they want, but they're really in their head about what's been going down with you all with the Nine of Swords here. They've been stressed. They might have had some sleepless nights. You know, definitely when it's the nighttime, it ain't the right time. They're really feeling the heaviness of what's going on with you all, and I think they're feeling a lot of anxiety around it. Like, can we get to the other side of this? They're wondering, is there going to be further growth? Are we going to continue to invest in this? All right. I do see, you know, that there's really, again, it's like we got the wheel of fortune here. Okay. What goes up must come down and vice versa. All right. And I do feel like there is the promise of renewal. But first, you know, this individual needs to overcome some toxic behavior with the devil showing up here, right? If they turn around this behavior, look at what comes on the other side. It's so beautiful. Empress energy. Empress represents Libra and Taurus, okay? So, but it's also the mother, all right? So there's some transformation happens here, and it brings about a time of abundance and growth and creativity. And I think also Gemini, it's about you really staying in that place within yourself of just feeling very in touch with your own energy, like being in your element and creating for yourself. And I think the more that you focused on this, like putting the energy on yourself and what you want to create, what you want to see grow in your life, I think you felt very empowered. You're definitely sitting on your throne. And for those of you masculine Geminis, or those attracted to women, you know, you might be dealing with an Empress. On another point, men, this could be you awakening more to that feminine receptive side. We all have that, like getting more in touch with your heart, being able to communicate from that place with more ease. And something really beautiful transpires as a result of that. Something grows. Okay, let's look at the top of the deck energy here. We do see there's been some kind of separation with the Three of Swords. There's been heartache. We saw that in the foundation, but look, there comes a new beginning with the Ace of Cups, all right? There is a fresh start here. There is some kind of transformation. I do think that there's been some kind of purification involved, though. I got it really strongly here. It's coming in so strongly. A lot of people out there are dealing with a situation where they've been struggling with somebody who has some kind of addiction, and I'm really picking up alcohol specifically, but there's some kind of transformation of this behavior. And there's a realignment, like spiritually, there's a realignment. A clarity's come in for both parties. 22:44 on the clock, absolute alignment. This is what's going to provide a brand new foundation in moving forward. It brings a new beginning of love. And we got Queen of Pentacles right here. Okay, that's Earth sign energy. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I also see this as your energy, Gemini, very much focused on your stability. You're very secure in yourself. You looked at practicalities. You're very balanced right now. You're extremely grounded, especially with that coming in with this Empress energy. Also, some of you Geminis are dealing with a Taurus, okay? Since that, we have to bring that in because that Empress card also represents Taurus, okay? You have indications of both Libra and Taurus in your readings. So these may be players on the board, people who factored into this situation you've been dealing with. Yeah, I feel like something was brought to an end. There was some cycle that needed to be brought to a close with the Ten of Swords. And I think you also felt this was pretty rough. I think you felt stabbed in the back, okay? I think this was painful for you. I do. But there's something on the other side of it, because it's like, you know, with the Ten of Swords, it's gotten the worst it could be, all right? It can't get worse than that. And it's always darkest before the dawn, all right? Not to be like just throwing out, you know, these proverbial sayings here, but it's true. It's really true. It's always darkest before the dawn, and this is about shift for you. I think you've had some time, you know, to yourself, and you may need to continue to have some time for yourself because you're doing a lot of soul searching. You're looking within. You want to make sure that when you move forward, there's cooperation. You don't want there to be an imbalance of power. We do see one man here. He's giving to two, okay? This is a card about reciprocation, but you see here, there's two figures here. They're on their knees, and this one person's in this position of power, and they're kind of keeping these people in this subservient position. I can't help but notice, because the Libra piece did get brought in, okay, but they're holding the scales in their hands. That reminds me of Libra, okay? So maybe this is something that's been keeping two people in this position, where there's been an imbalance of power, and it will get redressed. Yeah, and I think there's been kind of like a big waiting for the other shoe to drop in this situation. Somebody really feels like they've been through the mill in this situation. They feel very guarded right now, very self-protective, and they're just waiting for the next shoe to drop. I think they're sick of dealing with all the options. I think they're sick of dealing with all the illusion. They're sick of dealing with all the mind games. They just want to know what's going on. And maybe, the person you were dealing with in third party romantic situations, maybe they had a lot of options, okay? Maybe they were talking to lots of other people. Maybe you felt like you're not 100% all in with me, and this was very disillusioning for you. But not all that glitters is fucking gold. Some of those cups, what's in those cups will poison you. They'll take you down a dark garden path, and nothing beautiful grows there. There's only one cup that has that wreath in it that promises victory and success and happiness. So it's important to be mindful of choices. And I think you do feel guarded. I think as things start to open up in communication with your person, I think you're going to feel guarded. I think you're going to have questions, and I think it's okay to have questions. Yeah, your intuition is picking up some things, okay? And you do need to stay in touch with your intuition, all right? We got all of your, these queens are showing up on the board, but you had the Empress here. So I feel like this is you. Like, you're really coming into this place too, where you're embodying that Empress energy. You're very connected to all the lessons you've learned. And I think you're trusting yourself. You're trusting your intuition in this decision, and you're weighing everything in a very balanced way. And look, it turns out beautifully. Look what we got here. Queen of Cups, King of Cups. You're facing each other. Like, you're going to work through this, and you're both going to do it from the heart. You also might have a strong water sign placement in your chart, or been dealing with a water sign in your situations. That would be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, okay? This is really getting on the same page. And look, it's so beautiful. It leads to this happiness. Like, things are gonna end on a bright note, all right? It looks like you've really been through it, man. You've been through a lot. You've been through the mill, and it's been hard on you, but there is happiness coming through. And again, that message about the baby, for those of you who've had stress or some kind of loss around a child, look at this. We got this baby coming in. The baby has its own horse too, which I love, because we had the two knights riding forward on their horses, and here it comes. And horses are all about power and movement, okay? And this is the happiest card in the deck. So I think there's also a lot of happiness around a child. I'm picking that up for a lot of you. There's some child piece that brings a lot of happiness. And for some of you, it's just like you feel like a child again. You feel kind of like giddy again as you move further into the year here, all right? The close of this year. And also, I can't help but think the Sun King, which is associated with Yule. So I think the holidays are going to be a really happy time where you guys are going to get back on the same page and just feel so grateful for the journey, even though it's been really rough. So grateful. Just wait, okay? Stay in your power, right? Stay in your power. Keep good boundaries, okay? If those that you need to keep away from you, you know who the troublemakers are, all right? Go ahead and keep to yourself. You don't need to share what's going on with other people. It's none of their business, I think it's better for you to be self-reflective right now and not weigh in on the opinions of other people. It doesn't matter what they think. What matters is what feels right to you. I think you're really getting in touch with your intuition. And if you can, spend some time after this full moon, or even with this full moon, just do some time reflecting by the water. If you have an opportunity to do that, I think it'll be really nurturing for your soul, and a lot of answers will come through for you. But it's just waiting for it to arrive at this point, okay? Yeah, it's going to come forward. There's going to be some kind of emotional offer communication coming in with the Page of Cups, all right? And it looks like you're going to work through it, and you're going to work together with the Three of Pentacles. So all comes right in the end.